Welcome back to Hill Top Cottage, my friends. This beautiful park is just several minutes away from home, right down the hill from the cottage, and it's one of our favorite places to walk. I used to live within walking distance of it before we moved to the cottage rental, and I do miss being able to just ride my bike there or walk right in after work, but we still visit very often. We enjoyed the last, or at least what we think is the last, of the winter snow. We usually get one last big snowfall in March before spring really makes its appearance. During our walk, I collected many pine cones and got very sticky with sap for a very special project I made for the end of winter and to celebrate the start of spring. In the middle of February, I picked up these two greenhouses. I got the 8-shelf walk-in greenhouse and this little one here. I went back to Ocean State Job Lots to pick up some seeds and some terracotta planters, so I thought I'd show you the greenhouses I bought. And this is the first year I actually have space to grow my own vegetables.
Pop-out reusable starter tray.
This even has a watering tray for all of them. The roots will grab down into it.
I like that.
It is snowing again outside, which is wonderful. We've had such mild winters lately that it feels good to see snow on a regular basis for the first time in it feels like years. But because of all the snow, our bird friends outside are not getting enough seeds and plants. Everything's covered under the snow, and so we want to help them out a little bit. And I'm doing a craft today that has been something I did when I was younger, and you've probably seen this a million times before. You may have even done it, but you're going to take your pine cones, which is fun. I like going for walks and foraging for pine cones. So you're going to take the pine cones that you find, and you're going to cover them in peanut butter. I'm using this organic peanut butter. And then you're going to roll it in birdseed and then tie it up with some twine and hang them from the trees so the birds can have some food. I'm just getting over a cold, so it feels nice to be to have the energy to do things again. I've been working really, really hard, and I'm a bit burnt out, to be honest. So doing things like this kind of brings me back to myself a little bit, and it does something good for the environment too. use any other kinds of nut butters as well, or other sticky substances like syrup, maple syrup. Although I imagine that would get very sticky because the peanut butter itself is already really tough to use. Looks like more deer were walking through the trails. So I have all my bird seed feeders out of pine cones, and I'm gonna go hang these up on the trees. So I've scattered them about, and I hope our bird friends find them very soon. And that the deer and other animals don't eat them and gobble them all up first. That's the problem with being short, is I can't really get very high to put them up on the trees, so they're all kind of dangling low. But I did my best. It is time to set up the mini greenhouse. This is where I'm going to start my seeds, and then by April, I think the end of April, I'll set up the larger greenhouse to transport my plants into it outside. I bought a lot of herbs, basil, cucumbers, tomatoes, so many veggies, and it is a bit of an investment up front. It was about $32 for the little greenhouse. I had to buy soil and of course all the little pots and seeds, but it will eventually save me money being able to reuse this every year. And to be able to grow from seeds will save me so much money as well than buying plants. It's better for the environment because these plants aren't being grown and shipped across the country. I'm growing them right here at home, organically. I know what I'm using, I know what I'm planting, and I'm really excited to see what works and what doesn't. My great-grandparents were farmers, and that's where my family really learned their love for gardening. My grandmother, my aunts, my great-aunts, they've always had gardens, and so I grew up with a vegetable garden as well. The greenhouse was pretty quick to set up. It had a lot of pieces, but the instructions were very clear. I did put these shelves on upside down. They were supposed to, I guess, wrap around the bars, and I placed them facing up, but I did fix that before I put the plants in there. There is a little hole in this one. I could stitch it though. I'm getting my soil ready, and then together let's plant some seeds. So I planted all my herbs. Let's get. Let's see. I'll just roll this up here for you. So up here I have all my herbs, which I'm excited about. I have lavender, cilantro, wonderful herbs in here. Mostly tomatoes, different varieties. I've got my acorn squash and butternut squash and cucumbers in the larger containers because I know they're gonna take up more space as they grow. And then down here are the lettuce, spinach, kale, a couple more herbs like mint. I have cucumbers, and the bottom shelf is Matthew's flowers. So the reason why I'm growing so many different tomatoes and varieties of tomatoes here is because I'm not sure which ones are really going to flourish in this area, and so this is our first spring living here, and I wanted to try out different varieties, different sizes, different quantities, shapes, colors, flavors of tomato, and I want to test and see which ones really flourish in the environment here, which ones I'm able to grow really well from seeds, and which ones plant really well in the raised beds. So it's going to be a bit of an experiment with different tomatoes. But yeah, everything's planted and we'll see how it all starts to grow eventually. Once the weather gets a little nicer, I'm going to put together the large greenhouse we bought. So that one will be outdoors. I can't put it inside. And I'm gonna have to stake it down so it doesn't blow away. But I'm thinking probably the end of March, beginning of April, I'll be able to put that together and we'll be able to move some of the larger vegetables, start another round of flowers and maybe some more herbs that we couldn't get to fit in here. And we'll see how that goes. My first sign of life in the greenhouse. So my basil's growing. So my basil's beginning to sprout. And my lavender. See anything from the tomatoes? Nope. Too soon. Ooh, my lettuce and spinach and kale starting to sprout a little bit. And nothing for the flowers. Some signs of life with the cucumbers. Oh, little one sprouting up. I've just been using this water bottle. It doesn't actually have rose water in it. I finished it off a while ago. So I'm just using it to keep everything a little moist in here. The greenhouse effect in here is actually very nice. It's very muggy. Ooh, and my purple basil. It's starting to come in. 1 week update. And we have plenty of basil coming in. Lots of cilantro. Ooh, is this one of my squashes? Yep, it's a butternut squash coming in. We've got tomatoes, acorn squash coming in over here. Lots of tomatoes. Cucumbers. The thyme is starting to sprout. They're the tiniest little sprouts ever. Oh. And then over here, which ones are you? More cucumber, lettuce, spinach, kale. No flowers yet. But that's our week 1 update. While Matthew was looking at tools in Home Depot, I was looking at flowers and fruit, these blueberry trees. I ended up bringing back a couple blueberry bushes and some strawberries too. greenhouse is doing okay. It's doing good, but we've had all these crazy gray days, so much rain, cloudiness, that they're not getting enough sun, which I knew in this spot they're not in a direct window light. There's not really a spot where I could put them in window light, and it's way too windy and cold outside for the little greenhouse. It'll just blow over and everything will freeze. So I knew I might have to get some grow lights if things weren't moving along. And as I said, they're growing okay, but they're suffering a little bit. It's not lack of water, it's definitely lack of sunlight. So I got these grow lights that finally arrived. They were $39 on Amazon, but there's 4 strips. And they're made to go into, you could actually use them for under your countertops and things too, but they're made so you could put them on the shelves. And so I was told they're pretty easy to install, so I'm just gonna put these together and get the grow light started. All right, so it comes with a few different mounting options. You could mount with screws or with these like double-sided stickies. I'm going to be using the zip ties because it'll work best in the greenhouse, but also it's waterproof, which is really important. So I'm gonna get this put together. All right, so the top shelf here doesn't have anything above it, of course, to put the light on. So I'm just gonna, I think I'm gonna take the little tie here and put it on this way and just have it by the cords. But I'll make sure it's nice and tight, and then I'll secure the rest to the shelves. I made sure this is the right side for this end to connect to. I'm just gonna.
Aquifers and springs, baby ferns uncurling, every living thing. Be to me a mother, both hands on the wheel. Show me faded color, fields of chamomile. All at once in a dream, we are together. You could call it a vision or a tether. All at once I can see it put back together. You could call it a vision or a tether. Take me to the jungle, teach me tiger law. Read to me a poem.
I just got home. It's raining. I went out to the store earlier. Matthew and I went out today. We went to Home Depot, Michael's craft store, Ocean State Job Lots to get plants and flower pots. We have all these really fun crafting ideas coming up with painted flower pots and birdhouses. It's a lot of fun, but I was planting the strawberry plants and they have 10 plants in them each, or it says 10 sprouts, right? I got these ones. So I went to plant them, and of course I didn't realize that they were all clumped together, so it's just really one plant. And so I only had 4 of the red strawberries, so I went back to Ocean State Job Lot just now just to buy a bunch more. I'm gonna put them in little pots and put them in my greenhouse, and some of them I'll put in the windows, and I'm gonna have plenty of strawberries. And the awesome thing about strawberries is that they come back every year, at least they should. So my goal is that I'll put them, once they're grown enough and it's warmer out, I will plant them in the raised garden bed I have for the strawberries. And one of them actually from last year is coming back already, so I do know they will come back. So excited. And so I won't have to buy strawberries again. But I will do is I'm gonna save the seeds from the strawberries I grow, some of them, so I could plant new strawberry plants next year to sell, and it won't cost me any extra money. So that's the goal. But yeah, I don't know, I fell down a rabbit hole of garden carts and like flower carts, and I was like, I could sell my little plants because I have all these extra seeds. And so that's what happened, is I have all these seeds and I don't have enough room in my raised beds, or I don't have enough tilled land to plant all these vegetables. I just don't, and so many seeds come in a pack. but they don't last that long, so it'll go to waste. And I was like, well, I have the greenhouse space now. How cool would it be if I just plant all the seeds and then I could sell or gift all the extra plants that I grow and just grow them for fun? You know, I already bought the seeds, I already have them, might as well. And so I ended up falling down a rabbit hole of little garden stands, farm stands, and now Matthew and I think we could actually build a little one where, well, the road we live off of is just way too crazy busy. People go so fast. But there's a side road next to the house that I think could be a perfect spot for a little garden stand. I don't know if it'll be successful. Probably not. It's probably just more fun than anything else. But Matthew's idea was that we could paint all these flower pots. And I was like, that's brilliant. He brought it up last night, and again, I went online. I started looking up all these different painted flower pots, how to seal terracotta to paint it, what type of paint to use. So we got the acrylics today, I got the sealant, we picked up more pots, and Ocean State Job Lot is a godsend because the terracotta pots are so affordable there. And of course, Michael's Craft had a 40% off sale. I had coupons, so we shopped really well without really going crazy on a budget. And so I'm really looking forward to this. I really need like something creative and crafty to do because I'm so burnt out at work and with my small business. I haven't done anything fun. So this is the most fun I've had in so long. I applied for a new job and the interview went fantastic, but I didn't get it. So I found out yesterday morning that they went with someone they said more qualified, and I'm pretty heartbroken about it, to be honest. But I have the studio and I need to focus on that, and I need to find a job that will give me some time for the studio. I need a job that will give me at least 1 or 2 days a week where I could do photo shoots in the studio because I'm paying for the studio space, but I'm working all week and then I've been working weekends. It's like, so when am I going to use it? I just need to get myself in order, find a new job, be flexible, be thrifty, and work on my goals. That's what I'm gonna do. And until then, I'm gonna garden in the meantime while I look for this flexible job. Even if I have to take a pay cut, I'm gonna do what it takes. So thanks for listening to my rant. I'm gonna run inside. It's raining. I'm just gonna go grab these strawberries and bring them inside and plant a few more. So this is the cilantro. It's only been a few hours since I put the grow light in, and look how much it's perking up. It was so droopy before. Same with the little basils. This was so tiny this morning, and now it's really coming to life, reaching for the light. And pretty quickly, the strawberry plants I just planted are opening up right here and reaching for that light. And pretty quickly, these strawberries I just planted like 30 minutes ago are already opening them up and reaching for all that light.
You could call it a vision or tether.
Thank you for visiting Hill Top Cottage. I hope to see you again very soon. We have a lot of wonderful things coming up for this spring, and it's going to be our first spring at Hill Top Cottage.
Call it a vision or tether.